Cork in the North, welcome back to another episode this week, ladies and gentlemen. Joining me this week is the very funny and good friend of mine, Shane Todd. He's coming up on the podcast. But before we crack on with this, I just want to let you know about the Die-In Pub. They are our official sponsor of Cork in the North podcast, a place I frequent. I have performed in many times, a place that does great food. And you can also avail of that great food as well. Wednesday to Saturday, using the code CORK25, you get 25% off your food bill. Go down Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday. The weather's getting a little bit better. We're heading into the good old months. You can go down there 6, 7 o'clock. It's going to be bright. You can sit outside. You can have a bit of food. You can have the crack with whoever you want. Have a couple of pints, and then you can use that and head into town if you live down that area. Go and visit it for the first time.
Perfect for the festival season.
Perfect for the festival season. If you're going to Belsonic, if you're going to Boucher Road, if you're going to all these sort of gigs that are going to be happening, this is the place you go to beforehand to get your drinks in before you head over and go in the entrance with your tickets. Get a bit of food there. 25% off. The cost of everything's going up, but the cost of the food in the Die-In is coming down by 25% if you use the code CORK25. We can't tell you enough how good the food is down there. It's a good pub, good restaurant, good venue, loads of parking, run by very good people.
Got comedy on this week.
Got comedy on this week as well. Who's on this week,
Willie
Sean?
Thompson.
And who else?
And Jazz Sierra and David Dougherty Jeb.
There you go. So there's a comedy night on there as well. We date night. Take him out. Take her out. Do it. What are you doing tonight? I want to sit in and scroll through my phone. No, you don't. Pick him up off the sofa, drag him to the Die-In. Get a bit of dinner. Have a comedy night. Have a laugh. Start doing things you don't normally do. Start going places you don't normally go. Keep going to the Die-In. It's a great place. Also as well, just to let you know, the Patreon is £3 a month. That's it. £3 a month, 3 extra episodes a month. There's also extended comedy clips that I put up there that don't go up on YouTube, where you can see my full MCing from comedy clubs, up to about half an hour each of me just, you know, having the crack with the audience and stuff like that. This stuff does not go on YouTube. It does not go on Instagram. It does not go on TikTok. Extra content there. There's more as that kind of stuff being uploaded. There's also extra episodes of the podcast with different guests and stuff. So for £3 a month, you really are supporting the podcast. You really are helping us out here. We have a studio. We're building. We're growing all the time. We've record numbers of downloads, record number of weekly listens. And the
biggest month ever.
Biggest month we've ever had. And we just want to keep this going. And all we want is for people like you who watch this, that we drop it out for free on a Thursday. You go, oh, you know what? I dip in and dip out of this podcast. I like to see what the lads are up to, or what they're doing, or what Andrew's up to and stuff like that. You know, subscribe to us for 3-6 months. You know, invest in us a little bit, and we'll keep investing with you. We've got some great guests lined up coming up in the podcast soon. Different types of people. We've contacted people from different worlds. The medical world, the political world, the sporting world. We obviously have our regulars with Aaron and stuff, and the comedians, and we're trying to branch out and make it a little bit different. So for £3 a month, sign up to the Patreon. All links are below. Joining me this week is Shane Todd. Joining me on the sofa this week, stand-up comedian Shane Todd from the Tea With Me podcast, his world tour, comedy everywhere, Australia, America. He's back off to America again next week. Arenas, you name it, this guy has done it. And not only that, boxing superstar. This guy is the reason why I go to bed anxious. This is the man that is the reason why
I'm not the reason you go to bed anxious.
I am waking up threatening my girlfriend, going right, left hooks. Right, Shane Todd is one of the culprits that got me involved in the boxing. Shane, thanks for coming into the new studio of Cork in the North podcast. It's good to see you, my friend.
I've been waiting a long time for this moment.
Yeah.
Sorry, that sounds like I'm going to confront you about something. I just mean to be invited into the new studio. Tell you one thing, out of my periphery, I thought that of The Godfather was David Brent in The Office for a split second.
Oh, did you?
Yep.
Have you seen The Godfathers?
Yep.
Yeah. My favourite film's Godfather Part 2.
Imagine you said Part 3.
It was a weak follow-up.
Awful.
It was weak. Was weak. Shane, we've just sparred. We've just been doing a bit of boxing. I'm 4 sessions in. Shane, obviously you're a
semi-pro.
Not semi-pro, but sort of somebody sort of like in comedy to call you like a circuit legend. You know, like things. So this is your second fight in the Ulster Hall. Now,
call me worse.
whatever. You know, like what's that term you use when somebody's been around? Veteran, circuit veteran.
I'm a veteran.
Right, Shane. Why do you box? Why? It's horrible. The fitness is great, but the hitting is horrible, isn't it?
Yeah, at first, yeah. And don't get me wrong, you get hit with something, you're like, that is horrible, that feeling.
Yeah,
But
it is horrible. Though.
it's the adrenaline. It's a new skill set. So like, I am probably at the age where the hobbies I have, football being the main one, I just have for life. But I'd never really done. At school, I would have done any sport going, but I'd never done boxing. So then last year, it was me and Mickey were doing a podcast and talked about the idea of it. And I was like, you know what? That would be brilliant because I love being like outside of my comfort zone. So the first time we put on gloves and boxed, that was the first time I'd ever done it.
Really?
Yeah. And I was so nervous. Like we're going to go up to Holy Trinity soon and do some proper sparring there.
Yeah. You better know who's coming, kids.
Do not call them out. Do not call them out.
Hey, I'm from the streets.
You're going to get your head kicked in by kids.
Fuck 'em, mate. I'm calling in sick that training session.
The first time we went, I was so tired because my legs were so heavy with nerves. Like, nothing I'd ever experienced in stand-up. It felt like there was oil in my legs. My legs were just full of, like, thick oil. That's the best way I can describe it, and I couldn't really move them. And then we went up a couple more times, and it got easier. Like after, like the nerves got easier after that. But I love it. I think the training's brilliant.
Yeah.
I love just being in the gym with Sean McComb. Sean's one of my favourite sports people in general.
Yeah.
Like, I just love him. So there's loads of reasons.
Do you remember the first time you got hit? Properly hit
in boxing? Yeah.
And what was it like?
It was on the nose. And I remember it because I remember the feeling of ow, but also after a second it was away. The pain was away.
Right.
I get somewhere like first couple of times we sparred, you drive home and you were like, remember the wee Nod Churchill dog?
Oh yeah.
You're just driving home like this, like with a wee. You look like you're enjoying soft rock in the car.
Or like Heart FM or something.
Lighthouse Family. We could be lifted. First concert I ever went to, Lighthouse Family. 10 out of 10. King's Hall in Belfast.
Are they still together?
I think Conde he's called or something. Still Kwame or something. He's still doing. He was doing a wee bit of solo
He's
stuff.
doing cruise ships.
Yeah, that'd be a great cruise. Guy had a great voice, but. Nah, Lighthouse Family had a bit of a fallout. There was two of them. Had a bit of a fallout.
I started doing this boxing like yourself. My sports are golf. I've never thrown a punch in my life. I've never had a fight, a street fight. I've run marathons. I've never done a sport apart from rugby when I was a kid. But I was very young then. But
most people are when they're kids.
Yeah, but like, but when I've had to throw punches and actively try to hurt people, I'm into it. I'm learning. I'm like this. I can't really punch. I can't defend, and I've got no foot movement. But other than that, I think I'm great.
Brilliant. Apart from that, do you know what? You're so enthusiastic for knowledge and to learn that you don't listen. I'm being serious. Here's what he'll do. Right, run through a drill with Sean, and sometimes they're like, it's like left, right, hook. Left, right, hook, slip, hook, right, and it's like Chinese sometimes and it takes a while to go in. Andrew will because you want everything explained well to you, right? Because I think you like information and you like learning, right? Mm-hmm. You're a curious guy.
Very curious.
But you'll ask Sean something and he'll tell you like the first couple of words of it, the explanation, and you just walk off and start doing it with someone. And I'm like, Andrew, he hasn't told you what you need to do yet. And then he started the first time we were in Missile, which is just obviously down there in Kennedy Way. We're lucky to be in the presence of Sean McComb.
Oh, unbelievable.
In his weight class, one of the best boxers in the world. Andrew took the session. Sean's telling him stuff. Andrew's going, listen, guys, I think if you just you need to be more on your back foot. He took a session.
Yeah. Producer Sean might back you up on the when starting a sentence. Sean, do you want to tell Shane what we discussed recently about attention?
Oh yeah. So we recently discovered that we'd done an in-studio diagnosis of Andrew's ADHD
and autism.
And autism.
Right.
So
I'm fine. I think you're the problem.
I'm the problem?
No, not you, but I think other people...
Everyone else is the issue.
Everyone else.
Which is totally normal way to think. Yes, you're right. You're probably right. You're probably right.
So yeah, Julie, my partner, said to me, she goes to me, sometimes you're not even in the room.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, cool. You know what I mean? But I it's just the way I am. But there's no malice in it. Like,
But the thing with boxing is, as we're learning, there's so many moving parts to it.
Oh,
it's like a golf swing.
oh, yeah.
You look at it on TV and you go, and me as a shit golfer, I look at that and go, easy enough. But then you got to get your feet right. You gotta hold it the right way. Your follow through, the way you keep your eye on the ball. The way
So
you move
many
your
things
hips.
you have to do, like an autopilot
Yes.
in the back of your head.
Like we were
Yes.
doing today now, we did a lot of technical stuff today. So we were doing kind of like moving, and then we were like jabbing and hitting. And it's all about kind of the movement of the weight and moving the body as you turn and all this, and then slipping. So like as you attack, you've got to defend at the same time and all that. I can't do any of it.
You can. You're learning really
I'm
quick.
getting there. Like
You are.
But,
Everybody's
but
getting there.
me and Shane sparred, and I was good
Yeah.
when I sparred you. Like at one point, he said to me, "Can you stop throwing these overhand rights?"
Yeah.
Because I was connecting with him.
Sean, can I tell you the real... Do you want to do a diagnosis on this?
Shane was surprised.
I was surprised. So Tommy was sort of overseeing it, and
Yeah.
you'd never even been in a ring
I'd
before.
never even been in a ring in my life. Like never.
So
even been in
it was just a workout, but we're just sort of like, it was almost like a practice. So obviously I am still very much like a novice and a beginner, but because you'd never even been in a ring, I'm just going through the motions. So I'm not, you hopefully you'll attest the fact that I wasn't trying to hit you,
No, but
I'm just tapping, right?
You said I was hard to hit.
But right? So I go to him beforehand because you were nervous, right?
I was very nervous.
So I go, as was I the first time I got in the ring. So I go, listen, this is like 20%. I was like, we're going through it. We're practicing shots. I said, we're tapping each other.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a punch.
yeah.
This guy here starts fighting as if he's being like robbed on his way home.
Yeah.
Like
Haymakers.
as if I said to him beforehand, I'm going to murder you.
He's rattled the
He
cage.
starts
mate.
throwing these overhand. You know, if you were to throw your right hand overhand as hard as you can, he's doing that. Now, to be fair, I'm nowhere near him. Right, I'm on the other side of the ring. He's just doing it.
I
with his
actually
head down.
forgot you have to be really close to hit someone.
But
I was
also,
just
I'm
jabbing
going,
air.
Andrew, if you hit me with one of those, you're gonna like that's 110%. That's not 20%. So, but just in his head,
He rattled the cage, mate.
yeah.
He rattled the cage. I'd walked in. You know the ropes.
Yeah.
I actually thought to myself, I'm going to put my hand on the ropes. I'm going to jump over
Flip
the
over.
ropes, right? I put my hand on the ropes. I realised I didn't have the strength to lift myself up, so I went under the second rope. And I'll just get in here and I'm nice and easy. Like, I'm very excited about doing the fight. I'm very excited about doing it. I'm excited about now. One thing I wanted to ask you live on air and live here is there, and I don't know who's in charge of this or who's doing in the running order, but is there any way that I could fight first? How is the running
Why
order
do you want
getting
to fight
decided?
first?
I just want to set the last standard. Like, I want to show people like what's out there and what's coming. You know what I mean? I want people to come in and be like, "This is serious. Like, this is seriously good or bad." It's like you're going to see a man learn how not to get hit. I'd be ducking and diving, and at one point, I had sparred Connor again recently. I kicked him. Now I didn't mean to kick him.
Yeah.
But
Do you know what I can't wait for?
well,
When all this gets put together as a montage, you getting knocked out and the curb music going over the top of it as you lie unconscious in the Ulster Hall. Do, 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 do,
do you know who's going to cut that video?
Aaron Butler.
Butler.
He already has. He already has.
He has the template made.
He is. Why is he doing it? Like, he is. Do you know what he is? He's a smart fucker. Like,
Yeah.
he decides very strategically what to get involved in and what not get involved.
Yes.
Because there's something about Aaron. As much as I love the guy, he will not put himself in a position where he could be vulnerable.
Yeah.
And also, can I just say, I don't know another community that would put in this much effort into a fucking charity event.
Oh, by the way,
ever.
and it's all. See, with the first one, everyone was going, I don't give a fuck. I'm not putting any effort in. And then you realise we were. This time, I don't care about saying I'm not going to pretend to be like I'm not taking it seriously. Like nobody wants to lose. Nobody wants to get beat. Nobody wants to get knocked out.
It's fucking serious. Like,
So everybody is into it. To answer your question about Aaron, I think the marathon kind of proved it of what he had been saying, which is if he like commits to doing something like the marathon or the boxing, it takes over his life.
Yeah.
He's just alone in Butler Towers, throwing himself into it. And the marathon, like he was, I've said before, like on different podcasts, See if you look at that guy, the hardest geezer who ran the length of Africa.
Yeah.
Butler wears more gear when he goes out for his runs. Like this guy's running, was it like Algeria to Tunisia? No, it wasn't Algeria to Tunisia. He finished in Tunisia, but he ran obviously the length of Africa.
Yeah.
But Butler's doing 4 laps of Falls Park.
Yeah.
And
Going Andy Town Falls Road.
He's got 20 litres attached to him. He's got he's got fucking straws going up and down his legs. Yeah. He's got
sponsored by a fucking energy drink.
Those beer can hats, but liquid death, and he got so obsessed with it. But that's his reason for not doing it, is it would kind of take over his life. But I think he will.
Who would you have him fight?
I would have him fight you.
Me?
Yeah.
You would?
Yeah, I would have. Yeah.
Oh, fuck, I would have loved
Maybe
that.
next year. Here's the thing.
We'll come back.
I think he'll look back on all this and go, I definitely should have been a part of it. Because
and is this something you want to do every year?
I wasn't for doing it this year. Last year I said, I'm not going to do this again. And then the idea of missing out on it got to me, and now I am glad I'm doing it.
Talk to me about the day, if you remember the day last year, the build-up.
Yeah,
what to expect for someone like me because somebody said to me, like, we're sparring around 11 o'clock, we're training around 11 o'clock in the morning, right? But we're not fighting till 7 in the evening. Someone said to me, you need to start training in the evening to get your body used to. Is that not true?
It's true for professional boxers, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Not for us.
But he probably looked at me and went, oh, he's probably a professional.
Yeah.
That's what he says. Yeah.
I don't think you need to worry about any of that kind of stuff.
So talk to me about like 2-3 hours beforehand. What was it like?
I stayed in Grand Central last year, the night before.
Jesus, of course you did.
Do you know why? Because the kids
night before?
Yeah.
To get a sleep?
Yeah.
For 3 rounds?
Kids were really young. So I was like,
are you walking around with an entourage going in for coffee at night time and like eating protein and everyone's like, got a big fight tomorrow?
All the gear. Do you remember Deontay Wilder and Billy Joe Saunders? Deontay Wilder was upstairs in Nando's on the Dublin Road when he was over here for a fight. And Billy Joe Saunders, it might have been Fury fighting at Windsor on the Frampton thing, one of his comeback fights. And Billy Joe Saunders, who's friends with Fury's gone in and just thrown loads of chicken at Deontay Wilder and his team, and they chased him out. It was a viral video that everyone's like, if that happened now, because Wilder's obviously far more well known now, it would have broke the internet. But that's a mad thing that happened. But yeah, me and my mates are going to go around try and find Sean Hegarty and just
throw chicken.
Here's the difference. So I love Nando's that much that I wouldn't throw chicken at anyone.
Yeah,
I wouldn't waste chicken. But I did that the night before, and because it was just like, it would be like if I got to play in like say a soccer aid or something.
Yeah,
I wouldn't lie about taking it really seriously. So I stayed there the night before, got a good sleep. So
what did you do on the day? Because you're not fighting till what, 9-10 o'clock at night, are you?
I think the mistake a lot of people made last year was, say the fight started at 7:30, the card started at 7:30. We were allowed access from like 4:30. People are stripped off in their gear, doing star jumps and shadow boxing at 5 o'clock, and I'm like, it's like with stand up. I'll arrive as late as possible, and I'll conserve my energy for going on stage. But nerves get the better of people. Don't get me wrong.
You have to have a very low stimulating day, though. I think.
Yeah,
have that energy.
Yeah, but people were knackered by the time they went, and then the adrenaline's obviously going to tire you out too. So
talk to me about.
We have 2 teams. We have 2 dressing rooms.
Was there any beef between the dressing rooms? Like an hour beforehand, was there a bit of crack?
I
think this year it'd be good to
everybody was sort of doing their own
chuck
thing.
It a smoke bomb or something, like you know what I mean, like
everybody was sort of doing their own thing. Like I fought Johnny last year and I had 0 beef with Johnny, and I'm fighting Sean this year and I've got 0 beef with Sean. I would almost hate it to like, if you fought somebody,
but the thing is, like, do you want serious beef though? No, you don't. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a charity thing. Like, you don't want the comedy community to fall out over it.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
This is if anything, I think it's a show of strength within the community up here, that people are coming together and be able to look, we're doing something amazing for charity.
We're getting to play make believe for a night that we are professional boxers. That's how everyone should be approaching. A bit like when we do the charity football matches, you feel like you're stripped out. There's a crowd there. You feel like a professional footballer. We get to like play make believe and have like a really fun night, and in the process raise a load of money for charity. So everybody wins.
You were saying about the soccer aid thing, and like, how's the campaign coming along?
I've given up. White flag.
White flag?
Given up.
Oh God.
I've given up. It's on my birthday, 9th of June.
Who are the people that have played in it?
Keelty was a keeper for years.
Yeah, so he was.
So I'm thinking, because he doesn't play anymore.
You can get to him. You can get to Keelty.
But he probably wouldn't even know the same people. I did I did tap up Martin Compson about it, because he plays in it.
He was on your pod, wasn't he?
Yeah, and I think he was basically like, he was really dead on about it, but I think he was like, I can put a word in, but it's difficult. I think it's everyone well known.
Can I just say,
I'm better known than me.
Can I tell you,
as in-
Paddy McGuinness turned up at the
That's
Empire
right.
on the road, and Paddy McGuinness plays in it. And if you were on that gig that night, that could have been a way in, you know.
Think of the amount of people with way higher profiles that he knows that are on at him to get him into that. I just think it's not meant to be. But I might.
I want to know what.
Why don't you just
the
turn?
thing is, like, if you, what about you playing in Derry that night? Would have made Paddy McGuinness go, you know what, he could do it during soccer aid.
The last 20 minutes when he comes up against some YouTubers, like.
You fancy a game, mate?
I want to ask you about the what I should expect, because your experience with the boxing, right? Is that,
Yeah. I've done 3 1.5 minute rounds.
No, but like what I'm saying is that an hour before, is there food brought in for us? Are we getting free food and stuff?
Sean Haggerty asked last year if we were going to be drug tested, and he was being serious. He goes, "Are we getting drug tested?" I said, "The fuck? You need to be if you're asking that question."
In terms of like,
So take all the drugs.
when you get told about your fight, are you getting like, right, Shane, you're on in 20?
Yes.
And then are you getting strapped up then? How does it work? And like, what's the last half an hour like before? Because you know what it's like with a gig.
Yeah.
You turn up, you're already
It's
there.
like that. It's like that.
Is it?
People walking with weird pieces on, being like, "You need to go and walk now. You need to get ready." That'll be your most nervous bit, waiting to walk.
Is it? Was that, did you find out? And when you got in, did you just be like, I know when you got in, when you were walking down, were you a bit like, you were kind of calm backstage, but when you were going down, would you be like,
It's like it's like Save a Private Ryan when they're on the beaches. You
Is
can't
it?
hear anything.
Really?
Oh, none.
But when you went in,
The whole fight, I couldn't hear anything.
did you remember your training when you were fighting? You know the way they say to you, when you go in, you'll just forget all of it. Like,
No.
Did you actually genuinely moved away? Did you?
My stance was good, but I wasn't boxing as well as I was when I was like sparring and all that kind of stuff. A lot of it went out the window on the night.
Why is that? Yeah.
Nerves, knowing that like it was being streamed and the live audience there, all that made it difficult to do what I had been doing. I did start easing into it, but I wasn't. I was way better when we were sparring than I was.
It goes fast, does it?
Really fast.
Good.
Really fast.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that.
Or it might feel like a long night.
All right. Did Johnny catch you? Did he really hit you? Did he get you? Like, did
Do
he
you
get
know-
you 1 or 2 bits?
He did, but I don't remember it on the night, and I didn't feel it. And I'm sure of all the punches I threw at him, I'm sure there's very few that he really, really felt, because the adrenaline's going.
Are you just kind of going like? Is it?
No, but you've so much. I don't know. You've so much adrenaline that you're not going to feel it. Plus, we're wearing big gloves
Yeah.
and we're wearing headgear, so it would take a lot, I think, for you to really feel it. The nose and the body is where you feel it.
Next year, do you introduce belts?
Do we start a system like?
I mean,
I'm light heavyweight. Anyway.
here's the thing about that. Everybody like this year, everyone was going SSE. Your Paddy obviously was like,
Why didn't you do that? Yeah.
have to do it at the SSE.
You were saying like the production cost.
It's such a financial gamble for giving money to charity, because so last year's event lost money, like not that much, but lost money in terms of
For the charity.
no. We then
cost
luckily
the charity.
made the money.
You're sending
And tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we have raised minus £2,000 for the charity, which they will have to give us.
We need it
money.
tonight.
We need them.
The money was made on the pay-per-views, luckily,
Right.
but in terms of insurance, the ring,
setup, yeah,
some
I
of the
know.
equipment needed,
Transport of the gear and all that.
DJ, everything like that.
Shane's hotel room.
That made my suite. Because I need to put my team up too. Everything that made it such a good night cost a lot of money. To stream that really well in the SSE and have it look in class.
Yeah.
If the pay-per-views didn't work out, you could either not make or lose money. Plus, the Ulster Hall, if you ask any boxer, is the best place here for boxing.
Yeah,
So
I think we should-
I think it'd be a good night in the SSE, but I think I get it that everyone gets excited about it, but
I think we should put a matinee on.
and box twice.
Yeah, we'll do fight at 6. second fight at 9. So basically what we'll do is like you just do 2 fights a night, just double up like.
Yeah.
It's like an Edinburgh Fringe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Every day we're all just CTE'd up by the end of the month.
I've got belts ready for my walkout. I'm coming out with belts.
Right.
And Aaron's walking me out, right? And my idea...
Why?
Aaron's going to carry like a first aid kit and all that. We're coming up with these. I'm coming out to Joe Dolan, good looking woman, and a remix of Born Slippy.
He's putting way more effort into all this.
Oh yeah, like, the walk. I want to have my ambition is, you know, the way in Edinburgh Festival there's awards for best poster.
Yes.
That's I'm not going for best show.
Right.
I'm going for best walkout.
You'll be in the Royal being like, I had the best walkout.
Yeah, just cut it.
Julie will be showing you the phone. You know.
We're fucking broken eye. I'm very excited about it. It's going to
It'll be great fun.
And a lot of the big boxers from around. Have you invited celebrity guests or anything that are going to be sitting front row?
Not celebrity guests, but boxers will be.
But, you know
we'll have a judging panel of boxers this time.
So who's going to be on the panel? Do you know?
I can't say just yet,
Conlons and stuff like that.
in case they have to drop out. But yeah,
right,
all the well-known people.
Yeah,
will judge and they'll do commentary and all that kind of stuff.
I thought it would have been good. Now you can shoot me down on this. That it would have been nice to maybe have like Sean McCobe versus Tyrone McKenna 3-round exhibition or something to show us. To chuck in like a Sean McCobe fight as well in the middle. Is that not a done thing?
No.
You know, you just go, right, we've done all the comedians how go, now here's like Tyrone's going to fight Sean.
So like at Soccer Aid, you'd be like at half time, let's get Chelsea versus Spurs.
Just for 10 minutes, like, no.
They can't do that. Like,
they're not allowed to do that, obviously.
Well, they're probably not allowed to do that. That I think maybe would have to count as a professional fight.
It shows you my knowledge.
It's a ridiculous suggestion.
It is, yeah, but also valid.
No.
Invalid.
It's invalid.
Invalid. How's your wife feel about all this stuff?
Well, last year I think she was nervous until the night, and then really enjoyed the night. And I think same again. I think she knows like I'm putting the training in, so I have a better chance of not getting hurt, but still have every chance of getting hurt.
Yeah. Julie said to me, I said to her, I said, you coming to boxing? She was like, yeah. I said, babe, like I'm like boxing, like proper boxing, like I mean, and she said, yeah, it'd be a good laugh, won't it? I went, no, like it's kind of like serious, like we're actually serious. Like I've been hit a couple of times, and she's like, yeah, it'll be good. It's a free bar, like,
babe. Do you know I'm proper boxing? Andrew, you're not. None of us are proper boxing. Joe, it's so funny what we think we look like, and then when you watch the night back the next day, that's how we really look.
Yeah,
it's like when we play football, play matches, and you put a few nice moves together, and you go, "Fuck!" See for the guy watching this and the supporter. This is ticky-tack football, and then someone records it, and you watch it back, and you go, "It's not."
I've got a challenge for you, Shane. Obviously, you're a very successful stand-up comedian, amateur boxer, all round good egg, father of 2, and you have a car and stuff. So, like, you're doing very well. Because you can't get into
you made
soccer,
me park
away
from here. Can I say?
Didn't do that.
When you come here to do general banter, you get Colin goes, park there, park here.
We don't have his numbers.
You should have given me your space. I shouldn't be parked out in the road like that.
Who says I'm not on the road?
You're not on the road.
I could be on the road.
You could be, but you're not.
I'm not.
I could not be on the road.
I can either confirm or deny. I can't remember where
I was.
Remember that.
Fuming.
Because of Soccer Aid. If you're not thought about, let's go back to Soccer Aid. Let's get over this anxiety that you have.
Oh yeah.
Because of Soccer Aid, I genuinely believe
that's so funny that you'd look at someone like that and go, "Fuck, your man's really anxious."
Shane, because you can't get into Soccer Aid,
yeah,
right? I think there is a massive opportunity on this island for you that now that you've created the boxing, you could create the Irish Soccer Aid.
Right.
Or something along those lines. They do it in England. Why can't we copy it? Why can't we get the Aviva?
Right.
Why can't we get Windsor Park?
Gaelic.
Too big.
No, but what we're saying is we could North-South come together, Irish, soccer charity night.
Yeah.
Irish celebrities, actors, comedians. Why can't we do that?
Okay.
Windsor wouldn't be too big.
Windsor wouldn't be too big.
Windsor weren't really playing ball with me when I was trying to do last year like a Tea With Me versus Have a Word podcast all the regulars from both play like a game, and get it all filmed and stuff.
That would have been unbelievable.
See, when you're bringing a crowd, it's difficult and expensive, I think, when you're actually bringing supporters into a ground, because there's infrastructure around that and all stuff I wouldn't know about. But they were, I think maybe somewhere like the Oval or Solitude, where we did the Man United game, might be a bit, because you got to think somewhere like, say you do it at the Aviva, what's that, 70,000? That's a headache. Do it somewhere, at least for the first one. Do it Seaview.
That would be a good one.
Seaview, Solitude, the Oval, somewhere you have a good chance to get a good crowd in. Because see, years ago, like 10 years ago, more, 12 years ago, we did Northern Ireland First Republic in football, and it was at Dungannon Swift's ground for charity, and it was brilliant.
Yeah,
it's really good. All kitted out and everything. Yeah,
but I genuinely think, like, if you did, like, you know, Irish actors and whatever, like, so you could have Ryan Shaughnessy, singer of Picture This, Ardal O'Hanlon, a couple of comedians, you know, well known.
What if it's Tea With Me versus an All-Star Select?
Tea With Me versus Irish yeah, something like that. Oh, and like you get Chris Kent, you can get Victoria could play a few, you know, whatever, like, and the whole thing, but not just comedy. Like get Nesbitt involved. You know what I mean? Get some of the boxers involved. You know what I mean? Get a wide range of athletics, sport, music. You know, you could even get onto bloody Dermot Kennedy and stuff. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you get Dermot Kennedy, who's a really famous Northern Irish singer up here. What's his name?
McMullen.
Ryan McMullen.
Yeah, you get stuff like that. Like, and just think of how all of that would come together in one night. So to the people watching this, listen to this. Like, I genuinely think what a cross-border initiative that, you know, everybody can get behind. Mm-hmm. You know, can you not organise that? I'll play, like.
You organise it.
I'm busy. But you're very good. But you've a big, you know, like you're good at this. People will listen to you. Like, do you not think that's because if the boxing finishes this year, there has to be something else, really?
Yeah.
Like, I genuinely think it could really work, like an Irish Aid or something like that.
I think it would work, yeah.
Do you not? I genuinely think. But where's your first port to call when you went for the boxing and you had this idea with Mickey? Who's the first person you ring to actually start a process?
Promoter.
So you ring Shine or something, and you go, "We've got this idea." Yeah. What was the initial response?
With the football, we would just do it ourselves. You know?
Yeah.
You go to the ground and I don't know. You speak to someone who's ran something like this before.
You'll have to ring do you know what you do? Just ring the Football Association and speak to.
I think the Oval or Seaview's maybe the best place for it.
Yeah.
The Oval has a big car park and it's in Belfast. But then even do you get into a thing of like people going, I'm not going to if it's at that club or that club.
Yeah.
Oh, because of Jesus, yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
This is Andrew's roundabout way of getting casement built. He's like, we're going to have a casement.
It should be built. Should have been built years ago. Can you imagine if Northern Ireland get to the Euros? Well, they will be because they're a home nation, aren't they? And they'll still have to qualify, even though there's games penned to be played in Belfast.
Yeah,
they would have to go to Dublin to play their home games in that Euros if they don't build casement. Am I right? Do you not think that's a bit embarrassing?
But they're not playing at the tournament.
No, but it's the next tournament. If they qualify for the next tournament,
okay.
which is going to be in the UK and Ireland, isn't it?
Hmm.
If
2028,
if Northern Ireland qualify for the Euros, Euro 2028, they don't build casement, they have to play their home games in Dublin.
Right?
Do you not think that is an embarrassment?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
For this place,
yeah,
having to go to Dublin.
Yeah.
Because they were petty over the building of a stadium.
Get a wee Apple Green stop in though.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, stop at the Apple Green. But I just find it a bit. Northern Ireland this place should have a much better, bigger football stadium.
I wish those plans like in the 90s had it came off, you know, with like the Belfast United
Premier League team in Belfast.
Yeah,
that would have been
like Queen's Island, like Titanic Quarter.
We still would have found a way to fucking wreck it though.
Yeah, but that would have been. I've always wanted that. See, when I make like wee clubs and all.
And we could totally alienate him for an hour here. The championship manager, in-game editor. I used to make Belfast United too.
Belfast United, Belfast City FC or something. They used to have like
£250 million budget.
Yeah. And give them like a yellow and black kit. Yeah. Match him with Harland Mouth. You know what I mean? Like perfect. Cross community club.
Nicknamed the Cranes. Yeah. Come on, you Cranes.
And the striker's called Yo. No, wrong, Joe.
Sean. Here's what I want you to do, right? I don't
I
want
just
to
got
go
it
behind
wrong. I just got
I
it
don't
wrong.
want to go behind the fourth wall, right? I want you to make a clip, right? Keep all this in. Will you build up me and you getting excited about that? And maybe put some dramatic music that builds up.
It keeps going.
And then abruptly stop it. Make it play his bit, and then either put crickets in it or just there was always one guy like that at school.
That's too much. Man.
One thing. This is awkward. Like. Okay,
I give him his bag back.
I got.
He might have an inhaler or not.
I got my timing completely wrong.
It wasn't.
I was going to say that
Maybe
Strikers called Ulster says yo.
Oh no! Move on.
But anyway, we move on. Shane, I want to tell you about. I'm doing something before we leave and go. Is this right? A while back, you had very talented Ryan Hennessy on from Picture This. Lovely fella, really talented. Picture This have a new album out, right? Great band.
What's it called?
It's the new album, right? And they came into the studio to do Key Radio, right?
Yeah.
And I was chatting away to Ryan, big fan of me and stuff. And
He is?
Yeah, big fan of me. And
I know what he said.
but I'm delighted to announce today that I'm joining Picture This on stage at Belsonic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm going to be playing the Shaker.
What are you playing?
The Shaker.
Show us again. Yeah.
You know
And
the
there's potential for clips there, Sean, too, if you want to do anything with that. Here's what we do. We start a
the
beef.
Shaker.
We start a beef with Andrew and Ryan Hennessy from Picture This and get Ryan to go, Ryan Hennessy from Picture This, and just cut to that. That's what we do. There's two great clips.
So Ryan DM'd me when they were playing live in the studio. They had like a shaker, right? And I said, "Can I do the shaker?" You know. So I joined them on the shaker, right? And I was doing the shaker, and then I said, "Geez, that was great crack." And then Ryan said to me, "Do you want to come on stage in Belsonic and do it?" And I said, "Unbelievable."
Yeah.
So I thought they were joking with me.
Yeah.
DM'd me yesterday.
Right.
Are you still cool to come on stage in Belsonic in June? So I'm very excited about doing it. Is there a band or somebody or something that do something on stage that you would love to be a part of? So, for example, I'm very excited about this. I'd love to join the 1975 for a song. I'd love to do something like that.
Fuck me. He's getting into other bands now.
No, but what I'm saying is, like, is there something you would like to do with somebody else on stage that they do that you don't do?
Of course, smells like chocolate.
Like, tastes like chocolate. I know, I heard you.
Right.
It smells like chocolate. It smells like
First
chocolate.
of all,
It tastes like chocolate.
First of all,
I'm off my head today.
can I tell you something?
What?
Right. Ryan then came to do tea with me after he'd been on Q Radio.
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
and I was, I think he'd heard that here's the thing, I don't sing, right?
Yeah.
But people sort of say to me about it and stuff, oh, you can and all this, right? And I hate that. And, I get nervous, like yesterday on just messing about on Instagram, I had a go at F5 for fighting. What's that song? Superman? It kind of goes like this. This isn't me doing it, right? But I was just basically messing about and gave this a go, right? So it's like, I'm more than a bird. Right, so I was messing about with that. That's not me singing it, right? And people are like, oh my God, like it's amazing. But
Were they?
yeah, and I was sort of singing for Ryan when he was on the show. And again, I don't even sing. I can't sing, but he heard, and I said, listen, Belsonic, I'm more than happy to come on and duet, throw some vocals in if that helps you guys or whatever. I know the show's sold out, but if it wasn't, I would say could sell some tickets. Say I'm coming on to do a song, and he said Andrew Ryan's coming on. We just been in with Andrew. He's going to play the shaker. I said, do you know what would be hilarious? If you told him he's doing that, and then seconds before he walks on stage, I rock up with a shaker, and they're like, "Sorry, Andrew, he's going to do it." Now I joked about that, but obviously I would never, because I know how serious you are about it. But I might be involved in that in some way, because I think they were sort of saying you're on the shaker. Maybe they were saying I could be, in the back doing like something even further back, a little like, that wee box, the wooden box, or playing that or something. Yeah, that's easy, right? So something like that. But I was kind of annoyed because I was like, I'm either coming on to like, you know, for guest vocals or nothing, you know. So I think he thinks I'm happy to go on and like hit the cymbal or something. But if I'm coming on,
but I'm happy to do the shaker.
Well, I'd rather do like, you know, the Take My Hand. Obviously, they're big song. I was more sort of saying like I could, you know, you take a seat
for that one,
Him, well, I think I still see him on stage, but you know, let me take him for a walk, sort of thing.
Aye.
And maybe have a new arrangement of it, you know. So yeah,
I'm sure they're looking into that.
They are looking. No, he hasn't DM'd me yet, but I think
he's
just
DM'd me. He's messaged me.
You know,
do you want to see the message? Or?
Figuring out.
Do you want to see the message?
No.
I've squandered myself in front of the picture of this before. Because see, the first year that they sort of got big, Take My Hand was like if you remember when that came out, like just immediately that was their first song and
being used on everything. Yep.
And at the time I was working for Radio Falcha, and they brought out an Irish version of Take My Hand, and they played it on RT or whatever, and obviously all the Irish language stations loved that. You know, this was a popular song that was being sung in Irish, got played everywhere. So I reached out to the management before they were meant to play.
Is it a cover with the vocals in Irish?
Yeah, so they sing. They're singing their song in Irish. So then I reached out to the management and I was like, here, could I interview them before their Odyssey gig? They're like, yeah, sweet. So I went down and set up the interview in the Europa the night they were doing the gig in the Odyssey, and I went in and was dead nervous, like going to interview them. Started the recorder and started speaking Irish to them, and they just went. They like looked at each other like, "What the fuck's going on?" And I was like, "Oh, what's a crack?" And they were like, "Oh, sorry, no, we don't speak any Irish." And I was like, "Oh, right, I just thought because of the song." And they were like, Nah, it was just like somebody gave us a script and we done it line by line.
So the other equivalent of that is when Justin Bieber jumped on that Despacito remix. Despacito is obviously the Spanish song.
Yeah.
It goes massive. Gets offered to Bieber. Do you want to jump on this? Do it in Spanish. He goes, oh, why? Sings in Spanish. People at live concerts were like, do Despacito. He's like, fucking speak Spanish, you maniac. Yeah. He obviously was having it said and then he repeated it. But
that's the same crack with Emmons. So I just assumed, that's his. Yeah. Here's these lads.
So obviously you continued to interview in English, is it?
Yeah, but
you couldn't put it out though.
I was so fucking thrown off.
Yeah.
And so I was fucking red.
So did you have questions about the Irish language and how they like the languages?
I was like fucking saying about them going to the Gaeltacht and everything.
Yeah. Can you speak any Oscuelga? Do you speak any Irish like?
Listen, Cara, I speak very little.
Very little. Okay. Well,
to the point where
need us to come.
To the point where we were filming something for Kieran for Channel 4. I've told this before. It's a true story. And they had like a flat nearby where you could go and chill.
Yeah.
But it was like some guy's flat. And we filmed it. Do you know where we filmed the Thick Ass? Somewhere in the West anyway. There was like filmed in a wee newsagents. Might have been Turf Lodge. Anyway, I think it was Turf Lodge.
Yeah.
So we go and they're like, use this flat. So I went by myself. Guy answers the door. He's got about 10 samurai swords on the wall, right?
Of course Kieran Bartlett sorted this.
Doesn't put me at ease. Right, Channel 4 sorted it.
Oh, right.
Right, the samurai sword. And there's one missing, right? So I'm like, So I go in and sit down and he introduces himself.
Where's your other samurai sword? Don't worry about it.
Yeah. And he said, Mo Cara. Shook my hand. And I said, Shane. I thought that was his name. I thought he was being formal and using his full name.
Oh, right.
Mo Cara. I'm like, Mr. Cara, I'm so happy to be in your house. Nice swords. Do you want to hold one? No.
Yeah.
Muhammad Cara.
I know.
I had a guy who came to do my...
He was brilliant, championship manager.
Yo. Shane, before I go, I want to find the answer to this question.
Right.
Obviously, I'm going to join Picture This exclusive at Belsonic. If you could join,
Take my hand. Sorry, I had to do that.
if you could join another
Yes.
person in another profession on stage or in their field of what they do, like for example, I'd love to play around the golf with, say, McElroy. What would you like to do with somebody in a completely different profession to you, side by side, if you could do anything? So, obviously, you're doing a bit of boxing now. Would you do like a? Would you like to fight a serious? No, you won't do that. What would you like to do? Join someone on stage, play a match with somebody. What would you do?
I think it'd be football, but then I wouldn't want to like let the team down. So I wouldn't mind playing for last game of the season.
5 minutes. You win a
15
raffle.
minutes for United, but then I don't want to let the team down. I don't want to get the ball,
You can't really do any worse.
lose possession. You're right. I'd probably be the best player on the team.
Yeah.
But do you know what I'd love to do? I'd love to join. I'll not say comedy, right? Keep it away from comedy. I'd love to just join the Rolling Stones on stage.
Would you? You a big fan of the Rolling Stones? Yeah. Really?
Yep.
Seriously?
Yep.
I stood next to Ronnie Wood in a pub in Bath in England.
Right.
And he has a house in Bath because they've got houses. I
And a
suppose,
bath in his house.
And a bath in his house, yeah. So he was in Bath in England and I was doing a gig at the Comedian Bath. And I was in this kind of like wine bar place, really, really kind of upmarket. Like I don't really know why I was in there, but like I went in and he was just there and he had like a Sainsbury's bag, but he was just there with another person. I don't think he was drinking. But I just went, when you go,
Yeah,
is
yeah.
that? Oh, that is.
He's got a distinguished look.
Distinguished look. And then I left, and then about a minute later he left, and I kind of just watched him. I just watched him cross the road, just kind of like stood and just kind of went, that's him there now.
Yeah.
I just kind of watched him, and he walked into like a park and off to his house.
You're like his Martha.
Yeah, my little baby reindeer. Listen, go on.
I went to see them in Croke Park. It's the best concert I went to in my life.
Really?
2.5 hours, no break, all the hits. Bang, bang, bang.
You didn't go to Bruce Springsteen, no?
Where was I doing a gig? I was doing a show somewhere that night.
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
It's going to really annoy me. When was it last?
Last Thursday, wasn't it? Last Thursday.
Yep.
When we recorded this was
Oh,
last week. Yeah.
Kevin McAleer's last show in Oma.
I heard about that. Yeah.
So if it had been anything else, I'd have cancelled and gone to Springsteen.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I heard mixed reports.
Lovely stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, big thanks to Shane for coming in for a little chat today after we did the boxing. You can catch him on Tories at the SSE and stuff like that later in the year. And also, you're heading out to New York.
New York City, baby.
New York City, baby, to do your Tea With Me podcast, am I right?
Yes, you're
Have
right.
you announced the guests yet?
No.
You haven't announced the guests, but I know who's gone.
Yeah.
I won't be there. Now,
No, I know, and again, we're looking at it. So don't. We're seeing what we can.
but I might be busy, Shane.
No, you've texted me and said you're, just to clarify, you're not busy.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see.
You all know Shane, so check him out, all the details and stuff like that below. Shane Todd, if I don't see, I'll see you. I'm sure I'll see you beforehand. But if I don't see you and I see you on fight night, I just want you to know.
We're training tomorrow.
I'll see you tomorrow.